Welcome to the Mint Customs Workshop.
On today's episode, we stare at what we've created. We try and start an old race bike. And I find many parts that don't fit.
Nothing fits.
I don't see how we feel when the stars have faded. I don't see if there's love without the blood.
On today's episode, we are discussing which fuel tank and oil tank to run.
Yes, having so many parts laying around the shop, we've needed help to decide what to use.
You may have noticed on our Instagram, Parry Brothers, and our Instagram, Mint Customs, we've been asking your opinion on which fuel tank to run and oil tank. Let's have a look at the results. First up, fuel tank. So the post was, which paint job would you go for on a budget bobber build? Comment below and be a part of this episode. A fancy glitter tank or a mean black tank? At this point, I just want to say, you think you know your audience, but it turns out you're all absolutely fabulous. And you've gone for glitter galore. Because straight away, tomboy bit. Sparkles. Yes, sparkles from Harry P. Because I painted it. Yeah, thank you, Michael, for painting that tank. It is a beautiful paint job. And it does look like we are going to be using it on this bike. A few people have said B for the budget, and I think they're just assuming that painting a black tank is cheaper, and that's true, it is cheaper, but we've been lucky enough to have both of these tanks kicking around the workshop, so it hasn't mattered the fact that one of them is covered in glitter and already got all the decals on it. But in the real world, if you were gonna have the paint job done, yes, obviously that tank has 3 colors, it's covered in glitter, and it's got decals on it ready to go. So it's gonna be way more expensive to paint. It looks like you're winning. Let's go over to YouTube and see what fuel tank you voted for on there. Straight away, I can see it's a hands down win for the glitter. I wanted to run the black tank, if I'm honest, because black is awesome, you can't go wrong. I would have probably put a white decal on the side. The fabulous glitter tank wins.
Thanks everyone!
So the day hasn't got off to a good start, yet again. I'm hoping for a win with this oil tank situation.
You may have noticed on our Instagram stories, we asked you to vote for which oil tank to run. Let's have a look at the results. First up on the Parry Brothers Instagram, there was 199 votes and 69% have said A, which is the spiky tank, which is already on the bike. It still needs a lot of work, it needs finishing, but what a brilliant choice. Thanks for the votes. Moving on to the Mint Customs Instagram, 1,011 votes. Do we even have that many followers? Again, A, 67% for the spiky oil tank. It's a hands down win. We're running that tank. Let's go over to YouTube and see which oil tank you voted for on there. Okay, there's a lot of bigger comments on here about the decision depends on the design concept, and if the cones... There's no design concept. This bike is built out of parts we've had laying around the workshop. We don't even have a plan for this bike. Let's just hope the bike turns out okay, because normally we do have a plan. Kind of difficult choosing without seeing the plan for the bike. A, maybe, from Dark Cookies. Again, very true. In the real world, you practically design the bike before you start, and you'd have a plan for it and you'd stick to that plan. There is no plan with this bike. I've just stolen this off the old man. I'm pretty sure he's gonna steal it back. But how sick would that be if we could get this on there? That's what this bike needs. There is some bonuses to that. One, it's super exciting because you don't know what you're gonna get. On the flip side, it could go horribly wrong because we don't have a plan. A. Bender. B. Okay, we've got some Bs coming in. People are voting for the flat side of the tank, but it's a hands down victory for A, the spiky tank. So the results are in. The fuel tank with the glitter on and the spiky oil tank.
I only use highly technical names for all these motorcycle parts.
What else do we need to talk about? So in our hunt for new parts,
I'm not stealing nothing.
we've come across a lot of parts that may have been used on bikes but haven't stayed on those bikes for very long. So technically they're second-hand parts even though they haven't been used. Yes, we are using some second-hand parts. As you can see, there's a little bit of damage on this sprocket. Practically brand new. It's been on a bike being pushed around the workshop, never used. So we're slowly working our way through some second-hand bits and machining them and adapting them and modifying them to fit on this bike. And if you're building a bike yourself, these are the kind of things you need to look into to save money.
But don't be fooled. Our standards are very high. Unsafe motorcycles and bodge jobs are simply not an option.
And perfectly cool.
So what are the results of your scratch card?
What the hell?
No, nothing.
Sweet fuck all. I'm still here, aren't I?
There are a lot of small boring parts we need to fit to this bike, which a lot of it may not make the episode, but the clutch cable will, because it was a nightmare and it's slightly too long for this bike. And I think it's because we're using the clip-on handlebars, we simply don't need the length for the first time ever.
Don't say it.
That's what she said. Quiet on set.
Scene one, take one. Action.
Harley's a piece of piss. I shouldn't speak too soon, should I? Considering the old man's already done all this work for us.
There's quite a few things I like. One is Sam's come over to the dark side, joined me and Moose on the Harley thing. Or is it his head or something? All of the crap from around the back of my bench has disappeared and made my bench look really clean. And it's actually it looks really good. Got clip-on bars because they were left over there somewhere. There's some other weird stuff that's gone on with it. And as long as it doesn't cost me any money, I don't care what he does.
Hence the phrase, building a budget bob.
Building a budget bobber, yeah, yes. But yeah, no, I like it. It's turning out really good. It's got some tyres on it that we were lined up for something else we didn't use. I mean, they're new. We've always got stocks of new wheel bearings and stuff. So the build will always get that anyway. So that hasn't really cost. Got some odd sprockets. I think he's having to machine the sprocket.
Yeah, wow, 6 mil.
He's had a couple of different front ends on it already, but I think the one he's going with now is the good one. Talking as if you're not even in the room. I've got some engine mounts somewhere.
I've got some engine plates already. I guess we've got to remove this tank and fit the one that's won. By a lot. I can't believe how fabulous you all are. Goodbye, mean black tank. And hello, glitter! I mean, let's get that out of the way. To be fair, it does look pretty cool. And it is a really, really top quality paint job. Michael has spent a lot of time getting all these lines perfect. Just need to order a fuel cap and a fuel tap for this tank and she's ready to go. And this is the oil tank which has won the vote, the spike on the end. It still needs finishing, needs some welding, needs some bits doing to it, but the basics are there. So yeah, which I'm quite happy about, to be fair. I like this oil tank. Okay, we've got some more decisions to make. One of them being the exhaust pipe. We have two options. The first option is these old pipes that have some wrap on them. Or the second option is this set of pipes that have metal guards on them. Going back to the budget yet again, these are our only options, and maybe in the future we could upgrade the exhausts, we could upgrade the front end, we could upgrade the wheels, but for now these are the two setups that we have. One of the other decisions we need to make, and it's down to you what we do, is whether we run
forward foot pegs, where the foot pegs come off the front of the frame here, and you have the controls built on. You could run some foot plates, which will probably sit around here and have the controls at the top, which has never been done in this workshop before, and I'm kind of keen to try them out. Or we could run mids, which would be pegs that sit kind of in the middle of the motor, midway down the bike. Let us know what you think and what peg setup we should run. We also need to think about whether we need rear foot pegs too, because if we're running a pillion seat, we're going to need another set of foot pegs. And last but not least, for this episode, we need to decide whether we're running a front mudguard or not a front mudguard or a fender. We could cut this up and make it look a little bit meaner, or we could just throw it in the bin and not have one. I kind of think it looks quite cool with a mudguard. We've done a lot of bikes in here without. It would be nice to be a little bit different and run a mudguard, but we don't have to.
Make sure you follow and subscribe to gain your voting power.
First of all, we'd like to thank everyone for voting so far and for all the comments as well. The bike is coming together nicely, thanks to you. If you want to be a part of the next episode, please follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can head over to our website because we have some brand new merchandise for sale. We are selling a full range of hoodies, t-shirts and long sleeve t-shirts. I've gone for the long sleeved option because I do a lot of welding and it's nice to have a bit of extra protection. Yes, I'm gonna burn holes in this, but I look good doing it. So. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. See you again soon. Right, we better go and do some work, aren't we? Where's my tea?